Today's investment topic is where to invest in 2025. This is actually everything is changing. So I didn't have a chance to put another slides here because everybody saw that on Friday, Zelensky would sign the deal and then gave up all the mineral rights from Ukraine to United States. It didn't happen. So I couldn't find another slide that I just keep it. And people knows he will have to come back one day and then give up all his mineral rights. We know that. So, but actually stock market rallied on Friday in the hope that Zelensky or Trump will focus on Ukraine. Zelensky, maybe they'll let it go from Canada, right? For the next Tuesday, Canada and Mexico tariff. Finger crossed. So that was the hope. That's why the market rallied on Friday. This disclaimer, and this is for entertainment, education purposes only. So you can feel free to read this. So myself, I run my family money. Right? As I said, I'm shareholder of all these companies. I'm proud to introduce them to you. And I'm not just to go back. I invest in many different sectors, including energy, biotech. I did very well actually. I picked #1 stock in United States 2023 and did pretty well 2024. This is 2023. Me and the CEO, and then that's 2024. I did very well. One of the top 3 biotech also in the United States. But if you look. Let me see, go backward. So this is exactly the same slide I presented like a month and a half ago, okay? So I was talking about all the juniors, and then you realize, these are doing extremely well, okay? Only exception was Sarah Pasco because of the delay of the release of the drilling results and a little bit overhand. And so all these are superstars in the past 6 weeks since I presented last time. And I'm very glad to have a Goliath back. They will be on my second panel with Dr. Quentin Henning. So I've talked about it's one of the topic. I'm Chinese and I've been to the United States more than 30 years. So I always look back and see what's going on with China. This is a trade war. This is for sure trade war, Cold War, whatever you say. Hopefully not hot war. And we'll see. So just a little bit background, the United States, the top 3 trading partner, China already dropped significantly behind Canada, behind Mexico, almost in Canada, same level. I think that's part of the reason Trump started aiming at Canada and Mexico because he thinks China exports stuff from these countries. Plus, Trump wants to get some advantage, something. I don't know what he's in his card. I don't know his card, okay? But I know he's trying to get something from Canada and Mexico. And Chinese yuan has been weak, but if you compare with euro, actually relatively stable. And this is China's trade plus is going through the roof. I was just talking to Jay here, who's run the copper company. Basically, 50% of copper is smelted in China, right? So because China need all the coppers to make all these products around the world. Basically, China is selling around the world, right? One example of that is automobile. Automobile has been, China is the biggest share. In EV, China has 75% worldwide share, including China has 0 EV in the United States, right? Very little in Canada, but they are selling dominant. You can see how dominant China is in electrical vehicle. The next slide, this is exactly what I was presenting 6 weeks ago. You look at this, DeepSeek. I was talking about DeepSeek just before, about a week or 2 before DeepSeek become well known. Okay, the DeepSeek story actually, for me, I know them very well because they are the hedge fund. They used to be the people who invented DeepSeek are the hedge funds from China. Okay, they were top 4 or 5 hedge funds 5 years ago in China. And then the people start rushing into China, the last virgin field, and then they do that, the high frequency trading. Sorry, I want to say it's high frequency trading, and all the high frequency trading coming, especially from the United States, actually kill their business. So those deep sea founders said, okay, my business is going down. They used to have hundreds of billions of RMB, and now go to 0, right? Because if you're not performing, you go to 0. That's the problem with with a lot of hedge fund. If you're not number one, you're zero. And so what do they have? They made a lot of money because they were first mover, and they have a lot of talented programmer because they try to attract the best programmers from China to their fund. And then they have a lot of old NVIDIA chip. So to put the three together, they work on this for 1 year. And then they came out with the latest version that I was talking about 6 weeks ago, before the DeepSeek was well known in the Western world. They came out, DeepSeek, it was on Christmas, December 25th of last year. Right? So I learned that the 27th, 28th, I started to send out to my friends. I said, this is going to change the world. And I was able to put in my presentation in January of early this year. So what is DeepSeek? I mean, there's a lot of people talking about that. I just want to say what I said 6 weeks ago is exactly the same. They're about 10 to 15 times more efficient than OpenAI is at that time, the model. OpenAI has a new model now, so they probably on par, if not OpenAI is a little bit advanced. But the advantage for DeepSeek is open source. So the source code is open. Everybody can copy. That's why a company like IBM, company like AMD, and all these companies, they can get into AI now. So that's why it's become popular. Okay, it's not because there's anything revolutionary. It's more evolutionary. So again, this is actually a very interesting chart. If you look at it carefully, especially in the bottom. The green one is a household. If you look at it, the green one is a household loan. Okay, so you see that household loan has been going up almost every year. Until COVID hit, it go negative. If you look at it, it's a huge deleveraging. People basically pay back all their loans. And then they go up a little bit, boom. Last year, negative again. So what happened in China is more like a deleveraging. People, not because people poor, it's just people afraid of spending money. Okay, they are hoarding the cash. That's why there's a lot of cash on the Chinese regular citizens' balance sheet. And that's why I predicted 2 years ago, I saw the gold will have a run because I see the gold premium of China goes up. And I see so much cash on the Chinese citizen balance sheet. I think this will push gold price up, and I was right. That was 2 years ago, okay? So what I see this is there was some incredible buying, people waiting in line a couple of weeks ago when gold about to hit 3,000. When it failed, it's okay. I was talking to a lot of people here. Don't worry. It's a normal correction. It's allow people to buy gold cheaper. Right? We are at the bull market, and the people there's a lot of capitals here. And also China allowed the insurance company to buy gold. So there's a lot of capital will go into gold. That is another central bank. So the problem actually in China, if you see it, the local government, right? Local government, the debt is humongous. That's the problem. The local government is almost bankrupt. The consumer has pretty healthy balance sheet. The central government is a relatively healthy balance sheet. And then the local government actually more responsible for the deflation force because they're very pushing for the export, pushing for the production, but then they're out of money. Anyway, so this is basically I'm just talking about the relationship. You have to think in Xi's mind, when in Chinese president's mind, he think China is winning. Okay, that's you like it or not. That's what he thinks. Because what he doesn't look at the people deflation, all these people's problem. Actually, once I heard there's a rumor. He told his lieutenants that deflation is that a good thing? Why not? And buy things cheaper. So he's very out of touch with ordinary, but he cared about technology. China is winning in almost every technology. That's a fair statement, except for AI, right? So China basically already prepared for the Trump, China-U.S. trade war, and then they happen in November, December, January. It's systematically tighten the screw, right? So what will happen for us, for the investor? So what's going to happen? I think the inflation probably will pick up, okay? And U.S. dollar, Trump wants U.S. dollar to go down. The dollar may go up initially, but long term will go down because of the debt. A lot of people are talking about the debt issue. The Fed may slow cutting rate, okay? And I think gold and silver, there's so much gold and silver moving from London to here. It still happen. The Bank of England, right? They have to deliver gold by contract. Deliver gold in 2 weeks. They cannot do, right? There's not enough gold seems coming to the United States. So all these are valid, and then all the critical metals are really going to happen, right? You think about the Xi, what can he fight back? There's very limited options. One he can do is those metals, right? The critical metals, really critical. It's getting to Trump's head. That's why I put it there. Trump wants the rare earths from Ukraine. It's very important for United States and for the military. And also the gallium, germanium, right? Those metals, as well as another revenue China can do is to sell U.S. government bond. But China already below 1 trillion now. How much selling can they do, right? So that's a question about that. So there are very limited options for China to fight back. One of the is a critical metal, which is very good for our metal industry. Another is China buy more gold, which they are doing anyway. So one of I presented this idea in last Metals Investment Forum. I think it's very hard to get those paper anymore. So most of the paper, the Chinese sovereign debt is junk. I can tell you 99.999% is junk because our late president, Jimmy Carter, signed the deal with Deng in the 70s. That's canceled all the solvency debt. So everything on the market, they tell you could worth anything, it's junk. So except for this, I have this actually show the real paper I have in the last MIF. So this is a guarantee by railroad, okay? So maybe there's a chance because Trump won, they're trying to collect this. And then COVID hit, Trump doesn't want to piss off China because of he need a PPE from China, right? So it's guaranteed by the Qing dynasty and then by the Taiwan government. But if you go to Taiwan, they recognize those bonds, but they say, we don't own the railroad anymore. It's in China. It's still operating. So that's one of the ideas. As I present, I think very hard to find this paper after I present this idea last time. But there's other ways to do it because you buy it from like a souvenir paper and it can worth 100 times or 1,000 times if Trump really collects this, right? Good risk reward. So that's another thing that looking at the major trend of the human history, right? Every country going to spend more than 2% in the defense, in the army. This is I don't have the Ukraine drone data, so I put it Russia drone data. You can see the drone just taking off. Ukraine reportedly this year going to be 4 million drones going to fly. So what happened? Even there's a peace or no peace, every country going to build their drone, their robot, going to build an unmanned ship. There is a completely new paradigm, and they're going to spend a lot of money on that. So that will lead to demand for all the metals, okay? Critical metals, non-critical metals, just like copper, because it's used for electricity, right? It's conductor. So, and then in terms of copper, I have this report from China, the TCRC. It's already go negative. If you see that, it's negative. So basically means all the smelter who don't have long-term contract is going to go bankrupt because it's negative. Right? So that means the copper supply is going to go down because the smelter will go stop smelting copper. That's with potential copper tariff. It create a very interesting situation for copper. So that's my general thing because I feel commodity has been down for so long, so hard. It just went up a little bit recently. So we have a long way to go up. Okay, so people are telling me, okay, we may have some slowdown economy, so I shouldn't own copper, I shouldn't own zinc, I shouldn't own base metal. I disagree. Okay, I disagree. I think we are in a new era that's just for the military spending. They're going to use a lot of base metal, and for commodity, we have a super cycle ahead of us. It's a different chart. You look, and then U.S. coppers right? This is a copper. This is a U.S. market. For sake of time, I was talking about the overvaluation of Nasdaq. Okay, so that was the last time it did happen, right? Last time I made a call, that was exactly my slide. About 6 weeks ago, I said short Tesla. Tesla is about $400 at that time. You know what happened? Right now, Tesla is below 300. So that was my pick. It seems works pretty well, and seems to play like what I hope. So this is the most recent data. It just came out. I just put this on. So the growth prospect of United States is going down dramatically. Okay. Because of all the tariff, okay, you heard Canada, you heard United States too, and the inflation still sticking up. So this is actually pointing to potential stagflation. So that means that there are also other newsletter was talking. They predict United States will get into recession even this quarter. It's probably same for Canada and Mexico if those tariffs get into place. So, and then the U.S. stock market is so concentrated with all these 7 sisters. Now it may be 1.5 sisters. So it's causing a lot of problem. It's very similar 2000 and 2008, but at the end, gold take off. So, and then how about the digital currency? I talk to a lot of my neighbors who invest in Bitcoin. Very few of them make money. And there's a report on CNBC that says 70% people lost money. So you really need to have the very skillful set to tenacity really to make money doing that. It's very difficult. And then the Bitcoin digital currency based on 2 things. One is very secure. The whole thing is secure, and then people believe it's money, right? So there's some talk that quantum computing could have problem with Bitcoin. I don't completely agree with this because I think Bitcoin should be able to migrate to a more secure platform. But you have to assume the migration is smoothly. That's the big assumption, right? So, and then if not, it will go down before you blink your eye. So basically, next morning, and before you can react anything, it go to 0. And then you can see what happened with Libra, right? That's Argentina. I heard it's about almost 90% people lost money on this trade, but still some lucky guy make money. Okay, there are people who know something happened, and then you buy low and sell high. Still a few people make money, but most people losing money in the digital currency. So that's why I invite investor to come to take a look at gold and silver. I will present again in the next panel. I'm quite excited about the prospect gold and silver, especially silver. Currently a very, very interesting junction. So and I invite people invest in digital currency to take a close look. Okay, at least we are the market in silver compared with Bitcoin and the digital currency is tiny little bit. So we are in the deficit of 4 or 5 years into the heavy deficit. And then this is, if you look at the back experience of palladium, rhodium, this is about time it will take off. So we have a very good shot. Silver will take off this year. So I'm quite optimistic.